Hello everyone, Project Turtle here again for another quick video and update. So today we are going to be working with some moss here. You guys can see that. We're going to add some moss into the substrate of our spotted turtle enclosure, which is right here. And I already added some and mixed it in. I found out they don't just like straight sand, they prefer... this is a piece of a zip tie. They prefer their sandy material to have some organic matter to hold moisture like moss. So that's what I'm doing today. There's our spotted turtle enclosure. Need to probably remove some duckweed. We are doing a quick water change on this juvenile setup I have going on right here. Quick little update on what my system is. This is a 100 gallon, not 100 gallon, 100 watt solar panel that is being hooked up to a solar controller, which is in here with a 400 watt inverter. There's a solar controller. I need to get a bigger box to protect us from the weather. And then this is a marine grade battery from Duralast. I just picked up from AutoZone. Fairly cheap. I think I paid with the battery fee $120 roughly, including tax. And then I ordered all the wires I needed, got all the connections hooked up. So that's what's going on here. There's an extension cord hooked up to the inverter, and here's the power, which is on currently. And then I need to step out of my cage here for predator proofing for all my baby turtles. So the sun hits this in the morning for roughly 6 to 8 hours. I should put up higher, but I don't want to buy longer cables right now. And plus it's close to winter, so I'm not going to be getting too much sun. But anywho, we'll continue. So the extension cord right here runs all along through the back. Here it goes, and then here's our pump that's currently running. And this is, I'm gonna turn it into more of a bog filter. So the plan is to fill this up with more rocks, and essentially the sediment and organic matter will get settled in here, and it will flow eventually down, and then more organic matter will fill in here, and this pond should stay hopefully the cleanest. There are some organic matter and some algae growing in here. I have the UV light plugged in. This will also be housed in a waterproof container as well, and I'll drill some holes. But so far looking pretty great. I've been cycling this roughly 6 to 8 hours every day. No problems so far. A lot of problems like drilling holes, attaching bulkheads and filter bulkhead screens. But so far water's pretty clean. A little bit of algae problem here and there, but I plan to add some fish in here to handle the algae problem. And this one has hardly any algae on the walls because I have a couple of goldfish in there, if you can see. Once I feed them, they usually come right out. They're shubunkin goldfish and mosquito fish in here. We have a couple of fish in here as well, and then I think 2 or 3 fish in here as well. In here I didn't put too much fish because it's shallow enough for the raccoons to reach down and like get to the fish and turtles, so I need to attach a screen net. So I already have a pre-cut out deer fencing I bought, PVC coated, to go over this pond once the turtles go in here and in here. And in here will be probably for hatchlings and other species that enjoy more of a shallower water. Maybe a spotted turtle or 2. So that's the plant. And then this is where we are keeping all our plants. They're not doing so good right now because it's winter and they're just kind of dying. Like this plant isn't doing so hot. I'm thinking it's because we disturbed the root system when we pulled the plants apart, and because this one's gonna suffer and die, but the rest are doing alright. They're not doing particularly good by any means, but they're not dying as fast as that one. Our celery's doing great. Our lily plant is doing great. Our pickle rush we bought from just a couple of bulbs are doing all right. They're starting to grow, showing signs of life. They're starting to propagate down there, as you can see. So this is all gravity fed, as you can see. Eventually we're gonna put a box here, a wooden box, and put an elbow here so the water will actually go down like this. So it'll have more of a like a waterfall like effect. That's what we're hoping for, like this. And then in the box we're gonna put a couple of nice plants, hopefully hanging plants. And then here we're gonna try to cover this with rocks and other natural materials to make this more of a naturalistic pipe. And then put probably a basking spot near here somewhere, probably back in this area. Put a big shelf rock. But this aquagarden, not so bad, not so good. I had a couple of problems with this thing. When I first ordered it, the impeller came broken, which is in here. This is the pump, and then the UV light is back here. So I was not happy about that. Not happy at all. That totally sucked. Ended up returning it. Ended up getting a free replacement through Amazon. So that was pretty nice. So that's what's going on today for just routine maintenance and working. Eventually I would like to get the box built for hiding the bulkhead and the PVC pipe. Create some new basking platforms. We're doing a water change, as I mentioned, just draining some water out, just siphoning it. Lots of duckweed, not a big deal. And making moss to add to our spotted turtle sand enclosure, their land area. Moss. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. But anywho, not a bad day. So that's what's going on today. Oh, I should probably show off my other enclosure. And this is just my outdoor enclosures, by the way. I have more enclosures in the house. Ooh, look at the wood turtles. If you guys can see that or not. Aren't they adorable? And this is being run off of 2 solar pumps. So I have one solar pump here. This is 5 watts, and it just aerates the water constantly. So once it has full sun, the pump will turn on and constantly aerate the water. And then I have 2 solar panels here. That's a 30 watt and 20 watt solar panel, so 50 watts combined. And that goes to a solar controller and a pretty small battery bank in there. And that battery will last roughly 8 hours. So I have to constantly maintain it. So I just come in here and push the on button for the inverter. And the pump will turn on. And this is my homemade Bell siphon filter filled with lava rock, filter media, and carbon. The plants aren't doing so hot because the summer just wrecked them. It got so hot here. It got like 120 degrees. And all my plants kind of got cooked. But not so bad. So that's our enclosure. Oh, there it goes. Look at that thing go. The algae is my biggest problem, and I need to probably add some straw bales in here or add a UV clarifier. But usually I do a water change roughly every month or so, and usually keeps the water really clean. Green algae is not really bad for the turtles. It's just unpleasant to look at, and cleaning it kind of sucks. But all the turtles look good. They constantly bask. They're always up here rooting around. I would like to add some plants up here and some rocks and maybe a piece of driftwood so the turtles have somewhere to kind of hide and feel more enclosed. Just some deer fencing to prevent predators from getting in. Nice and tight. My girlfriend thought it was cute to add this to prevent the raccoons or cats from getting in and grabbing at turtles. Like, they don't want to stand on top of this. And it works. They don't want to stand on top of this with the little spikes going on. So that's what's going on with this setup. It's a waterland tub, by the way. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, there's our turtle guard dog. What you doing, puppy? You silly girl. You silly. You're a good girl. You're a good guard dog. I am 99% certain a mouse got into the juvenile hatchling enclosure, because we found bits of fur and skin. First I thought it was a feather, but nope, that's straight skin and hair, and more and more, and a tiny little leg bone with a piece of meat still attached to it, if you can see that. Gross. Ugh. Anywho, yeah, they got some extra protein one night. I didn't even realize. Part of nature, I guess. Gross though. Yeah. So we'll probably just throw all of this away. I'm not really worried about catching diseases or my turtles catching a disease from that one mouse that jumped in there. Quick health checkup on all my spotted turtles. Beautiful. There goes a nice big healthy female hiding behind that weed I never pulled out. I thought of pulling that weed out, but I was like, you know what? They could use some greenery in there, and they could use it to hide whenever they feel like coming out onto land. I left it uneven on purpose, so they could kind of roam around and choose where they feel like they want to lay their eggs. Some shots are a little shallower, some areas in... Oh man, I can't speak. I'm a little bit tired from working, but yep, so there's like a little hill in the back there, so they could dig there if they want. They could dig in the middle if they want. Here's a nice little young male, one of my first spotted turtles I ever owned, about close to, I'll say 3 to 4 years old. There's a little female right there, I think. Yep, that's the female. She has a slight broken tail, sadly, but doesn't affect her in any way. Still very healthy. And then there's my other big female over there. So they're just hanging out. I pulled them all out for a quick health checkup, so they look pretty good. I'll probably continue to feed these guys sparingly for the next 3 weeks before winter fully sets in, where temperatures drop below, I would say, nighttime temperatures drop below 50. That's when I'll probably stop feeding them. But right now, their daytime temperatures are still warm enough. They're still out and about foraging during the day. And oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. Just ridiculous. Let's get that wire out of the way. But yeah, one of my favorite turtles right here. So pretty. Very healthy too. Here's the other female. So I have 2 turtles from a different breeder. I have 1 turtle from a different breeder, and that turtle's from a different breeder. And then I got 1 other turtle, which I got from Shelled Friends. So you should definitely check them out, which is a different breeder. So I have spotted turtles, 5 of them, from 3 different breeders. And this is what you want to do if you want good genetics. You want different genetic lines. Well, they're not genetic lines, they're the same turtle, but different genetic sources. It's possible that Michael's turtles and these turtles may be related in some way, right? But chances are likely that because I got them from 3 different breeders, it's very slim that they're all from the same parent or same group. So, oh, if you guys are wondering why I put these boards up like this, it's simply to act as like if there are, imagine like where a spider turtle lives, right? It's full of trees, branches, moss, dirt, mud, things like that. And in the bottom of my enclosure, there's roughly 1 inch of sand down there. And on top of that sand, I have roughly about 1 inch to 2 inches of moss. So they could bury down and hide, and I will never see them unless I dig my hand in there. These act as like tree branches, you know, hanging over the water, which act as shade, because that's something that would naturally happen. And not a lot of people think about that, but I was like, they could use some shade, and I was like, I think a couple of wooden beams like that, or wooden boards, will provide the shade they need, and it's a little bit more naturalistic. And I have a nice piece of driftwood in there that will provide tannins into the water and also as a basking platform, and then they can also get out because there's a water line tub and they have a complete land section. Within the land section, I want to add maybe 1 or 2 rocks, decorative rocks, and maybe 1 more plant. Possibly replace that weed that's growing there, the dandelion. But this is a pretty nice setup for I would say 2 juveniles, 2 adults. The 2 juveniles are very close to being adults. I'll say within 2 years, 3 years, they should be breeding, and then I have 1 fully grown adult and 1 fully grown adult male in here. So, and the substrate turned out really nice. I'm gonna zoom in here real quick, but yeah, I mixed that moss right into that sand. I wanted to add some like organic soil and stuff, but I couldn't find any at Home Depot or any other stores that sells just straight dirt without fertilizer. And then when you look at a bag of dirt and you look in the back and it has all this other stuff in it, and you're just like, I don't want to put that in my turtle enclosure. Personally, I don't. So as soon as I put that moss in, look at that. She buried herself right into that mossy sand. That's pretty cool. Looks like she might be getting ready to brumate on her own, or possibly just hiding out. Yep. So that's what's going on today. Thank you for watching, I guess, and subscribing if you have already. If you haven't, subscribe, because at 100 subs, we are gonna do something spectacular. I'm thinking where I show off all my turtles and feed them all at once, or I try out all my turtle foods. So leave a comment below if you guys want to see that, and you guys can vote for which one. Thank you.